He's participated in many tournaments, notably 20-plus PSBA, 20-plus Wyoming Valley Bowling Association, 50-plus PBA, and has 16 listed team qualifier scores. He is reportedly to be, without a doubt, one of the best right-handed bowlers in the Wyoming Valley. He presents himself with class and humility, and always shown sportsmanship and winning as well as defeat. For a time, he was involved in the business side of the bowling industry and promoted the advancement of the sport at any opportunity, as well as being involved with our local association. A competitive tournament bowler, he began at the age of 13 in the junior bowler sport tournaments. It seemed he was on the road every Sunday for 25 years bowling tournaments. The one thing beside his family and friends that was the most important to him was competing in the great sport of bowling. Unfortunately, the same thing that drove him to succeed was the very thing that has temporarily taken his career from him. He was in a collision driving to participate in a tournament with a tractor trailer, suffered severe neck problems that over the years have become so unbearably painful that he has had to cease bowling while praying a doctor can get him back to at least 70%. At 70%, he is better than most of us with 100% capacity. His tournament wins and scores obtained are truly amazing, and he was always on the outlook for his next tournament challenge. It seems he is always on the winning teams in our leagues. We are proud to welcome John R. Pelcher Jr. as our second 2011 Wyoming Valley Hall of Fame.
USBC, and this award is on behalf of the Wyoming Valley USBC Association, and welcome to the Hall of Fame.
State Bowling Association, I'd like to present you with a certificate commemorating your induction into the Wyoming Valley Hall of Fame. Congratulations. I actually prepared a little speech of my own that I wanted to read here. Yeah, Mr. Belcher, you can sit down. First of all, I'd like to congratulate Jen Leniak and her family on her induction. I was lucky and privileged enough to be inducted in 2008. Thought I was nervous then making my speech. That was nothing compared to this. What an amazing honor it is to induct one of my best friends and one of the best bowlers I've ever had the pleasure of being associated with. I met John when I was 9 years old at Stanton Lanes in the junior bowling leagues on Saturday mornings. We quickly became friends and also very competitive with each other. We bowled together on many junior bowling teams and started to travel a lot in tournaments around the state, places like Bellefonte, Williamsport, York, etc. Doesn't seem very far away, but when you're 10, 11 years old and you get to stay in a hotel overnight, it was quite fun. I remember in Bellefonte, Mr. and Mrs. Pelcher were asleep in the next room. Myself and Bobby Staley snuck out of the room to go to the lobby and play the pinball machine. Well, we snuck back in the room about 4 a.m., and I still remember this to this day, how mad John was that we didn't sleep much because he wanted to win that bad. He showed his competitive fire at an early age. Remember, John? Up all night, pay the price the next day. That was a famous quote from his father. That was also the place where I ordered filet mignon at the restaurant, and they brought me a fancy hamburger. John and I will talk about that all the time for years to come. Those were fun times when we were young and just getting a taste of competitive bowling. All through our teenage years, we would spend every extra minute we had in a bowling center practicing together. John, myself, Mark Boris, Pat Partillo would even bowl with us once in a while. Every Saturday night, a group of us would travel around the valley and bowl at different centers, so we would never be labeled house bowlers. John was very good and competitive, bowler at a young age with numerous JVT titles, and it rolled over into his adult years. Besides being a great teammate in league play, to anyone that was lucky enough to bowl with him, he was an exceptional tournament bowler. We traveled every single weekend for what seemed like 10 years straight to bowl. We would go to a tournament about 2 and 3 hours away, bowl all day. John would overhear someone talk about another tournament later that night. So of course, being the total gamer that he is, we would end up driving to that tournament, get done bowling about 11, 12 o'clock at night, be 5 hours home. This is where he would drive, and I would of course try to stay awake. But I would have these hallucinations of elephants and other animals on the side of the road and fall asleep as usual. Right, John? John would always get me home in one piece. Around that time is when we became partners. We would each put up the same amount of money, then split whatever money we both won right down the middle. Man, do I miss those days, because John usually made all the money, and since he is not able to bowl at the moment, I'm bowling myself and losing my ass. Hurry back, please. It was a great partnership, and we finished first and second on 5 different occasions in tournaments. John winning most of them, of course. Anyone who knows John also knows that he was involved in an auto accident, doing what he loved to do, driving to a tournament. He proceeded to bowl for a few years in a lot of pain. The pain finally was too much to bear for him. He had to temporarily retire. The pain he endures every day I would not wish on anyone. It kills him to not be able to bowl or do the normal everyday things we all take for granted. I know you will be back, John. We will all be better off when you finally do get back. John is one of the most clutch bowlers, too. He was always the hammer man on all of our teams. And there isn't another person I want there to throw a strike when the game is on the line. It's easy to feel confident knowing you're on the approach, John. I just wanted you to know that. Not to change the subject, but most of you all know me as Beans. My last name is Beans. John's nickname is Hoop. I know you almost 30 years, John. I have no idea where the hell Hoop came from. I've never seen you play basketball or hula hoop or anything for you to get that name. Maybe you can explain it later. Anyways, John isn't your normal bowler. He's never drank, never smoked. He even had a dry wedding and still managed to accumulate such an amazing bowling resume. Although he was a troublemaker, he would always manage to say a few words to somehow get a few people arguing, and then he'd disappear. We thought you were slick, John, but we all knew your work. Besides being such a great bowler, John is also a great person. There was never a time that I can remember asking him to do a favor or help me out that he would say no. He was always there for his friends. When it comes to family, he's the best father to his beautiful girls I know. John definitely overachieved in the woman department too, as his lovely wife Janine was still able to fall for him. She stood by his side through all the Sundays away and when things weren't the best. She was always there. John, I just want you to remember, when you think you're unlucky that you had that accident, you're one of the luckiest guys in the world to have such a great family. In my eyes, John, you're a Hall of Fame friend, Hall of Fame teammate, Hall of Fame father, husband, and son. Now you're a Hall of Fame bowler. You're so deserving of this award, I can honestly say I'm a better person because you're my friend and now fellow Hall of Famer. Congratulations, John.
I want to say how honored I am to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, to be with people that started the organization and put the area on the map, like George Miller, Frank Claus, of course, not even close to that now. Being with my father and my friends, Partillas, and Schmoll, and Boris, and Bees, and Canavage. I just want to say thank you. I want to thank my parents for instilling in me the ability and knowledge to learn. And I want to thank my wife for sticking beside me, and for my girls, always being there for me. No matter if I both good or bad, I was always their dad. I just want to thank my friends for supporting me and being there. and for the special friends that outside of bowling who are always there for me, and you know who you are. I thank you all very much. Thank you.
I certainly cannot follow up on any of that. I mean, that was very, very nice. But I do thank everybody, especially my family, for supporting me through bowling since I'm 5 years old, especially my Uncle Ed, who got us started at bowling at 5 years old. I especially want to thank Marie Z. I know most of you don't know this, but she could be a pain in the butt. But she has been absolutely wonderful and very supportive, and I've bowled with Marie since I'm 18 years old, and I really appreciate all she's done for me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes. Excellent, as a matter of fact. Who's that kid with the knee? Very smooth. I feel like it's lumbering or something.
You mean you're filming?
Go ahead.
I'm not giving it to them. I was not giving it over there.